When you think about investment taxes, your mind probably jumps to all this complicated stuff, right? Chasing deductions, finding loopholes, just getting lost in a maze of rules. But what if the most powerful tax strategy was actually the simplest one? Today, we're going to break down a single concept that could seriously add hundreds of thousands of dollars to your wealth, and without taking on any extra risk.
So let me ask you a question. Are you playing the wrong tax game? And I'm serious here. A lot of us spend so much time and energy trying to squeeze out a few extra bucks with deductions. But there's a different, much bigger lever that the smartest investors are pulling instead.
Yeah, and this slide just lays it out perfectly. Over on the left, you've got the deduction chaser. They're always stressed, always digging through complex rules. And for what? Usually just for tiny, tiny gains. But then look to the right. You've got the asset locator. Their strategy is simple, it's pretty much a one-time setup, and it just works quietly in the background, generating huge gains over the long run. It is all about working smarter, not harder.
All right, so what is this big secret, this core concept? It's really simple. It boils down to this. It's not just about what investments you own. It's about where you own them. The type of account you use can be just as crucial for your future wealth as the stock or fund you pick. Okay, so this whole strategy, it's called asset location. And look, all it really means is putting your investments in the right homes. You're just matching the tax personality of your investments with the tax benefits of your different accounts. If you get this one thing right, you let your money compound way more efficiently over time. To really get how this works, we need to understand the three basic building blocks of any investment portfolio. I like to think of them as the three tax buckets. Okay, first up, we have the tax-deferred bucket. This is your 401k, your traditional IRA. With these accounts, you get a nice tax break today, your money grows year after year without getting hit by taxes, and then, way down the road in retirement, you pay taxes when you take it out. The name of the game here is pay taxes later. Next up, and this one is a real powerhouse, the tax-free bucket. We're talking about accounts like a Roth IRA or an HSA. Now here, you put in money that's already been taxed, but then, and this is the amazing part, it grows completely, totally tax-free. And when you pull it out in retirement, it is 100% tax-free. I mean, that is just a massive win. And rounding it out, we've got the taxable bucket. This is your standard brokerage account. It's the most flexible for sure. You can take money out whenever you want, but it's the least tax efficient. Every single year, you're paying taxes on dividends, and whenever you sell something for a profit, boom, you get hit with capital gains tax. Yeah, there's no special tax shield here at all. Okay, so we know the buckets now, right? Let's get to the good part. Let's see the power of placement in action. Because this is where the magic really happens, when we start putting the right assets in the right buckets and just watch what happens. And look, I am not exaggerating when I say this. We're not talking about small little optimizations here. Making the right call about where your assets live and grow could seriously be one of the biggest, most impactful financial moves you ever make. Okay, check this out. This slide makes it so clear. You've got investor A and investor B. They have the exact same investments for the exact same amount of time. The only thing that's different is their asset location strategy. One is just random, the other is strategic. Now, look at the bottom line. They started at the exact same point, but wow, look where they ended up. And that is the difference. Over $200,000. That is the power of placement. That money didn't come from picking a hot stock or trying to time the market. It came from pure efficiency, from understanding the rules of the game and just using them to your advantage. Okay, so you see the why, right? The potential is huge. So now let's talk about the how. How do you actually do this? Let's walk through a super simple 3-step playbook that you can apply to your own money. The logic here is actually pretty straightforward. It's just an order of operations. You want to fill these buckets in order. First, you max out your tax-deferred accounts. Then, you move on to your tax-free accounts. And only after those are full do you start putting money into taxable accounts. But here's the million-dollar question. What do you actually put inside each of these buckets?
All right, let's start with bucket number 1, your tax-deferred accounts, like that 401k. You want to think of this account as a tax shelter, a place to hide your most tax-inefficient investments. These are the assets that create a big tax bill every year, things like REITs or actively managed funds that are constantly buying and selling. By sticking them in here, you shield all that activity from the IRS each year.
Okay, so what's left for your other two buckets, your tax-free and your taxable accounts? Well, these are perfect for your most tax-efficient assets, like broad market index funds or ETFs.
They don't trade a lot, so they won't generate a big tax bill if you hold them in a taxable account. But the real pro move? Put your highest growth potential assets in that tax-free Roth IRA. Why? Because then all that massive explosive growth, you get to take it out completely tax-free in retirement. That's the dream.
All right, let's wrap this up. What's the big takeaway here? It all comes back to this idea of just playing a smarter game, shifting your focus from all that complex, frantic stuff to something that's simple, powerful, and works for you.
You know, this quote on the slide just says it all, really. Efficiency beats complexity. You don't have to be a tax wizard to win this game. You just have to get this one core principle. Smart asset placement is simple, and it pays you back literally and figuratively for your entire investing life.
So I'll leave you with this one last question to chew on. It's not just about how much wealth you have, it's about where it is. So I want you to go look at your own portfolio and just ask yourself, what's the location of my wealth? Is it in the right home to grow to its absolute full potential?